Memory is a fragile thing. I remember the weight of the rock, a sharp, sudden impact against my temple that sent the world spinning into a dull, throbbing gray. I recall pulling my car over to the shoulder of I 70, seeing her there, and stepping out to offer assistance. It seemed like the correct thing to do, but she was unstable, violent. I don't know what happened. I don't know how a simple gesture of kindness turned into that. The sudden swing, the crashing weight against my skull, the way she looked at me with such absolute, irrational fear. It was exhilarating. I'm almost certain that she didn't realize how hard she hit me. She was just swinging at the void, trying to erase me from her reality. As I stumbled through the dark, I heard her voice in the distance, cutting through the trees, a desperate, ragged sound. Help! Someone please, help me! It was a perfect opportunity. I caught the rhythm of her panic and matched it. I screamed it back, echoing her plea, so that anyone listening, any operator on the other end of a phone line, would hear two voices in distress. I made sure to sound like the one being hunted. It's simple, really. You just have to be the first one to project the narrative. When I finally reached the road and saw the cruiser's lights, I didn't stand still. I waved my arms. I stumbled. I projected the image of a man who had barely escaped with his life. When the officer stepped out, I was breathing hard. My hand pressed to the side of my head, where the blood was matting my hair. I don't know what happened, I said, my voice trembling just enough. I tried to help her, and she snapped. I think she's dangerous. I don't know what happened. She just attacked me. The officer was alert, primed. He saw the blood. He heard the tremor in my voice, and he saw the fear I had so carefully cultivated. Then she appeared. She didn't see the cruiser. She saw only me. She lunged, wild and desperate. The officer didn't need to question it. Her behavior, the raw, uncontained panic, confirmed every word I had spoken minutes before. To the officer, it was an open and shut case. 2 shots. A brief, messy silence. The officer stepped forward, breathing hard, looking at me with an apology in his eyes. He saw a victim. He didn't see the man who had guided her directly into the crosshairs. The police intervention was irritating. It was far too much spotlight, and that is exactly why I avoid the system. They were effective, yes. The officer cleaned up a problem I hadn't quite finished yet, but their presence is a liability. I have a life that people respect. I am the neighbor who waves from the driveway, the man who holds the door open. I've worked very hard to ensure that no one ever looks at me and sees anything other than a decent, quiet member of the community. Having them involved in a situation like this, sirens, flashlights, reports, it risks bringing too much focus to the wrong things. I have a private inventory, trophies, habits, things that are best kept in the dark, that I prefer to keep off the record. The last thing I need is the law looking closely at my property or my history. I don't want them digging, because if they start, they won't stop until they find the things that define who I really am. This was a dangerous oversight on my part. I'll need a much better exit strategy if something like this ever happens again. Hopefully, it won't, but from now on, I'll be far more prepared. A situation like this shouldn't require anyone else to resolve it. I need to be the only one making the decisions.